Hello all and welcome to Wow Crochet Designs. My name is Mary and today we will be working on part 3 of our mystery blanket, and there you go. It is from there all the way up to there. Be careful guys, because some of it does look like repeat, most of it looks like repeat pattern, but there are a few little changes, so keep that in mind. So what I would like for you to do, guys, today is to do from there to there, and then you need to head off on your own and repeat that 3 more times, okay? So it's quite a lot of work, okay? It's very simple, very basic stitches. You've done all of them pretty much in this particular piece already. So all we have to do now is from there to there. You will need your cream yarn for this project as part of the project. We're finally getting a chance to use our cream. You will need the same hook that we've been using all along. You will need a scissors and you will need your sewing needle. Now, I found this one just a moment ago, but that's not the one I used in the tutorial. I used a lot thinner. This has kind of got a little twist to it there, but just any sewing needle that you can weave in your cream ends with. All right, that's pretty much all you will need, guys. The tutorial does go for a long time, so I'm not going to talk anymore. I'm just going to let you get started creating part 3 of your mystery blanket. Good luck all. Alrighty guys, so this is where you should be right now. You should be actually on, let's bring that up a little, on your last back loop only round, and you should have an amount of 63 stitches across the round on each side. So 63 times 4, I'm not going to do the maths, I'm going to let you do it. There you go. All right, so do you like that? I'm not going to do the math, you do it. So 63 times 4. So where you should all be now, you should have yours joined already, but this is what I want you to do. All right. I didn't chain my 2, excuse me, chain 2, and then slip stitch into the stitch with your stitch marker, pull a loop through and pull it through to the loop on your hook. That's where you should be. Now, if you are not there, don't worry about it. I want you to take it undone. We're going to do it again, except now we're going to do it again with our very last colour, which we haven't added yet. We're going to add it now. But what I want you to do, now this is a little tricky. If you want, you can chain your 2, slip stitch to join and cut your thread and then rejoin it later. But we're using the cream thread for the next 2 rounds, all right? And I think we can carry up our purple or whatever colour you're using. If you're using a black or a dark colour, you're better off cutting and then adding the thread the next time, yeah? But I think we can save us doing that, yeah? I'm just going to chain my 2. Now, before you slip stitch into this stitch marker, you're going to pop your hook in first. Take out your stitch marker so you can see what you're doing, yeah? Drop that purple at the back for a minute, grabbing your cream. Pop your cream over the hook and pull it through the stitch that you are in and through the loop on your hook. So you've kind of joined it but not. See how open that is? You don't want that, yeah? So what we're going to do now, I'm just going to give everything a tug, yeah? What we're going to do now is firstly grab the tail end of your cream right there and pop it at the back, yeah? Grab the purple or lilac, whatever you want to call it, pass it forward, picking up your cream, your working end, chain 1. Just tighten it a little bit, drop the cream, pass your purple back. Chain 2, drop your cream, pass the purple forward. Chain 3, pass your purple back. Now this is the chain that you want not to do too tight. So chain 1, hold it there. And the reason you don't want it tight is because you want to pop your stitch marker in that stitch. And because we are passing the purple backward and forward, that's going to tighten your work, yeah? So what you have is your chain 4, which is the start of the round with your clusters, yeah? So we are going to do a round of clusters. Grab your tail end of your cream. You're going to crochet over it, which is with one cluster set only. So you're doing your normal clusters of 2 together. So pop your hook in, pull a loop through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over your hook, back into the space, pull a loop through, 4 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, 3 loops left, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. And now you chain 1. Just drop your tail at the back again, leaving it there. You're going to weave it in and out of this corner later, all right? So yarn over your hook. You're going to skip that very first stitch that you are in. That's the one that we're in right there. We're going to jump over and into the next stitch with our cluster set. Into the second stitch with your cluster set. I don't really need to show you how to do it because chain 1, you would have been doing it over the past few sets, yeah? So that's your cluster set. Guess what? That's what you're going to do all the way across your side. Way too easy, yeah? All right, I don't think I need to show you, but I will bring this out. Don't you like it? She's singing, guys. I'm just going to grab a stitch marker and pop it in that very first corner. All right, so your job now, let's move everything out the way, is to do your cluster sets, skipping your 1 all the way across, get to the second last stitch before the corner, complete your last set, wait for me there, and we'll talk about what we're going to do next. All right, head off on your own and do that side, and I'll meet you back here once you're done. Alrighty guys, I tried to bring the screen out a bit, the camera out a little bit, to show you the actual length of it and how gorgeous does it look with the contrast. I love it so much. Now, the only reason I got you to go to one side is not sure if your memory is having lapses or anything, but what I'm going to do, just to remind everybody what to do in the corner. All right, so in the corner, you've made sure you've done your last set and you've chained 1 here, yeah? Then you jump in and do a normal set, 1, there, but you don't chain 1 here. You're going to do a treble. Now, in the beginning, that chain 4 that we did here, that acted as a treble, but now you need to do your treble. That's a treble US or double treble in the UK version. And it's yarn over your hook twice, into the space, pull a loop through, 4 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 2, and then you're going to pop a stitch marker in the top of that stitch. Oops, there. Just showing where the corner is. Now you need to put another cluster set in the corner, and that's this cluster that you've done right here. You have to do another one in there. So off you go doing your cluster like so in the corner, chain 1, move everything over, skip that first stitch, that first one right there, go into the second one. So skipping your first, go into your second with a cluster set. All right, chain 1, skipping the next one and doing another one in your very next one. All right, now before you continue, chain 1, you need to count your cluster sets that you did, let's bring that out a bit more, that you did in this side right here. So, starting from that cluster in the corner, which is right there, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 31, 32, and 33. Making sure you have chained 1 in between each cluster set. You should have 33 sets all the way across. The reason I'm telling you this is because you are going to head off on your own and continue your sides. All right? So it's pretty much what you've been doing all along in your cluster set round. Yeah, so you're going to continue the rest of this side. You're going to get to this stitch marker right here, and then I will meet you there once you're done. Alrighty guys, this is the whole side done. Where you should be, let's get a nice close up, is right there. you should have done your last cluster set. You should have done a chain there, and you should have your space here. All right, remembering you have 33 cluster sets per side. Remember that. And 4 trebles in each corner. 1 treble in each corner, 4 trebles altogether. So we need to complete our last cluster set in this corner. We already have the 1 cluster and the chain 4, which acts as your treble. So let's complete the cluster set in the corner like so. Remember, you don't do chains when you're in the corner. You only chain to get in the corner and chain to get out of the corner. But in the corner, we don't chain for this particular round. So what we're going to do one more time, we're going to raise up that purple. We're not using the purple, we're just going to raise it up once again. So the first thing you're going to do is pop your hook in that stitch marker stitch. That might be a little bit tight because you've got your purple stuck in there as well. So pop your hook in there. You're still going to pull the white thread through and through again. Right, so what you've done now is you've slip stitched into that purple. Now, like normal, we're going to, as we would do any other round in this particular pattern, we're going to flip our work. So flip your work like normal, just leaving all the threads there, and we can work them out in a minute. All right, so what you have is that, and your purple yarn is here. You want to actually leave your purple yarn in front. All right, leave it in front for this particular round. Grabbing your working tail, you're still that way, yeah? Once you turn, you've turned. Leave your purple yarn in front because this front is the back of your work. So it doesn't make any sense now, but it will later, all right? So you're leaving your purple yarn in front. You are chaining 1. Have we chained 1 yet? No, chaining 1, tighten it up. In the same stitch, you're doing a half double crochet or a half treble in the UK. So half double, yarn over your hook. You've done this before. You're hopping into the stitch that you are in. Pull a loop through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, grab your stitch marker again. And in the same stitch, you are doing a single crochet. So you're not worried about this thread here. You're going to lift that up in the next round. We are using this cream. In this round, this is the final round we'll be using the cream for now. All right. So that's the last time you will raise your purple up. It'll be ready for the next round. All right. In the meantime, you've done your half double and your single, and you're going to do a single in the next cluster set. That's single US, double UK, and then single in your space. You know this round, super simple. Single in the stitch, single in the space, single in the stitch, single in the space. Way too easy. What I want you to do, I'm not going to let you sit here and watch me do it. It'll take forever. Here we go. We're getting there. Single all the way across every stitch, every space. Get to the stitch before your stitch marker right there, and I'll meet you there in a moment. Just saves you staring at me doing it, and we'll talk about what we're going to do next. Alrighty guys, here we are at the end of this side. All right, and let's get a close-up. All right, I actually have put my single crochet in the space before the next cluster set, which is the corner set. So I just need to put another single crochet in that corner set. And in our corner set, we're going to put what we've been doing in our previous rounds. So we're going to pop a single crochet first. There, taking out that stitch marker for a minute. And in the same stitch, you're doing what? A half double crochet or a half treble UK. All right, 3, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. You know this, you've done this in many rounds before. Different rounds, of course. And then you're going to pop another single crochet. All right, make sure you counted your side along here. That would be 67 stitches. All right, so make sure you count that and get that count correct. And then all you're doing here is what? exactly the same. Single in your first cluster, it's in the corner, it's the same cluster that's in the corner, single in the first space, and single in your next cluster and your next space. And you know the rest, yeah? You know the rest. All right, so what we want to do now is pretty simple. You know this round, single all the way across like you've been doing in every other, I don't know, 5th round or 4th round, whatever it was. And then you do your single, half double, and single in the corner. Single across here, single, half double, and single in the corner. Single all the way up until you get to your very last set there. Continue that round. Meet me right here in a moment and we'll talk about what we're going to do next. Alrighty guys, we're at the end of this round. Now we're still working on the wrong side of our round. Yeah. Oh, and don't forget, you should have 67 single crochets on each side and 1 half double crochet in each corner. So I am actually including the single crochets in the corner for the rounds. Yeah, or for the sides, I should say. So just remember that. And now what we're going to do here is, oh, I think I've gone too close. Oh, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. All right, so we are going to, now I haven't finished my area. I still have to put a single crochet in our normal cluster set in the corner, right? And then a single crochet in the same space where our purple thread is. I'm just going to bring it out a little bit because it's blurring a little bit. That's better. So what we need to do is we need to put a single crochet in the very last stitch. You know where our stitch marker thread is? Or our purple thread is, I should say, right there. That's where we need to put our single crochet in. So just start your single crochet in that same space as the thread. Pop your hook in and pull your loop through. Pass your cream thread forward, grab your purple and pull the loop through like so. Yeah. Then you slip stitch into the stitch with your stitch marker like so. Remove your stitch marker, and if you want to give your cream thread just a little bit of a tug and everything a little bit of a tug, then you'll know where you're at. Yeah. So once again, like we've been doing in every other turning row, we're going to flip our work again, just ignoring the cream thread for now. Yeah. Trying to work this is really difficult. You're going to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. Pop your stitch marker in as though we were doing a normal, which we are. We're still doing a normal round. I think I've been saying rows. They're not rows, they're rounds. Pop your stitch marker in. And you are still in that stitch. See all that purple that you can see in that stitch? That's where you're going to put your hook. Just be wary not to pull your cream thread through. It might help if you just hold it at the back. Yeah. Pop your hook in where the purple thread is, pull a loop through and do a normal double crochet. Like you would on your normal double crochet round that we're going to do now. Okay. And this side here is exactly the same as we did way down here, right? Where we just do a certain amount of double crochets across, yeah? And on this particular one, I had to look at my book there, you need to do 16 double crochets across. So pop your hook in the first stitch you see right there. You're in this one, you're popping your hook in that stitch. So 1, and keep going, yeah? 2, all the way across on your single crochets, you're doing 3, 4, all right, now I want you to count to 16. I'm going to pop this on fast just so you don't have to sit here and watch me doing it. Okay, we're up to 4 and go all the way up to 16. So 5 and off we go. And 16. All right, so what we did in our previous rounds, just to remind you, we went 4, 8, 12. And now we're on our 16th. All right, so that's your 16 double crochets. And now you're going to do 35 half double crochets. So half double crochets, yarn over your hook, in the stitch, pull a loop through, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And my thread is pulling. All right, so what I want you to do, I'm going to pop this on fast yet again. You're going to do 35 all the way across, and I'll meet you once you get to your 35th stitch. We're on our 5th one, and now we go 6, and off we go doing our 35. And 35. All right, so if you played your cards right, you should have 16 stitches across. All right, and I usually count them. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16 right there. All right, so your job now is to do your 16 double crochets all the way across. Now these are the double crochets, so just your normal stitches, double US, treble UK, yep. Off we go, and I'm going to pop this on fast until we get to the end of this side. And 16. All right, and where you should have gotten to is literally the stitch before your stitch marker. You should have completed it right there. So now you're going to put in that stitch marker stitch 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets. All right, so off you go. 1 and 2, all in the same stitch. Chain 1 and 2, and 1 and 2. All right, now if you like, you don't need your stitch marker anymore because you can see the prominent corner here, yeah. And once again, what are you going to do? Into the very next stitch with a double crochet, 1 and 1 into the next 2. We're going to stop there because I'm going to give you some instructions for this round. All right, so what you did was that. How gorgeous is that? Before we do anything, just want you to pop your stitch marker in the loop, just so that if you walked away, you don't lose your stitch. Because what we're going to do is flip your work for a minute, and we're going to cut our white thread right here. Let's try cream, Mary. We're going to cut our cream thread. Give yourself a long tail so that you have plenty of tail to weave in, because nothing worse than you don't have enough tail and you run out of tail. That's all, you run out of tail. So what you want to do, you are going to sew one of these threads in. Now what I want to do is always keep this one available. If you've already sewn that in, that's okay. Just leave it there. It just reminds us which side the back of our work is, because we are flipping our work often, yeah? So what I want you to do for now, you probably is not the right time to do this because you really should have completed it, but that's okay. We can work around it. We're going to weave this end in. And in fact, I'm going to weave it in this way. If you did the rest of the round, you could probably weave it in this way, but it doesn't really matter because this tail is down here. So remember, we are weaving our ends in on the wrong side of our work, which is why I wanted to do it now. Okay, so what you're doing is you're just grabbing a little bit of thread, and yours truly is doing an absolute no-no. People always tell me off for this. I'm splitting some yarn in the white, just some thread near it for now. And then I'm going to pop my needle and just pop it under all these threads, splitting yarn. Now before you pull it through, you're going to check the other side and make sure it's not visible on your purple. Right? If your needle is visible here, then that yarn is going to show, but it's not. So you just pull it through like so. Yep. And then you're going to do as much as you want. Yours truly, my regulars would know that I'm a big stickler for weaving in ends. I don't know if you can see that. How about that? That might be better for you to see. So my regulars would know how much I am fussy about weaving in the ends. I don't like doing them like anybody else, but I'm very, very fussy at weaving them in, making sure they are not visible. All right. And making sure that they've been weaved in far, far into your work. I mean, I'm right down here at the moment, yeah? I might go even that a little bit more. The thing I find with cotton, now if you're using wool and acrylic, you probably don't need to weave in as much. But I find with cotton, if you don't weave this in properly, it's going to come undone, okay? Cotton is one of those, well, it's one of those threads that just, it's very annoying. It's a very annoying thread, I think, in my opinion. So I've gone down this way. Guess what? I'm still paranoid enough to go back in the same direction, but going into a little bit of different stitching to start with. I'm right here. I don't want to go into there. I want to go right into the very next stitch and then start weaving in ends. Now, if you wanted to, I know a lot of people do this. They go through some of the stitching at the back, turn around, go back up, and then go through one more time. And then they don't have to go through anymore, because if you do kind of like this and then straight and then a bit more and then straight, that's not going to come undone no matter how hard you pull it. So there you go. That's a little bit visual. That's kind of visual up the top, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. Right there. That's better. And pull that through like so. All right. The way I see it now is, doesn't matter if I don't do any more, this is not coming undone. But I'm still a little paranoid and want to get it right through. Again, you don't have to be. If you find that weaving it in once or twice is enough for you, that's fine. That's your prerogative, and that's all there is to it. All right. Now, once again, you don't have to do this part either. This is something I do, and I'll just do one more time, and only just a very little bit. I don't need to do too much, because the third one is the one that sticks, that really sticks, that really makes it stick. Yeah. All right. That's it. That's it. And now you cut your piece. Right there, and you can weave that one there in. That's also going to be going under some of these stitching here, or in and out of this stitching, backward and forward. Just remember, and this is a bit of a tip, if you split yarn like I do, it's not going to come undone. So make sure that this is correct before you start splitting. And I can't, stress this enough, because someone said, oh, now I can't get it undone. No, you can't. Once it's split, you have to kind of cut into the work or use a pin to pluck, and little bits of thread come everywhere and it's a mess. So make sure everything is correct before you start weaving your ends in. All right. So you can wait till the end of the blanket if you like, if it's a lot easier for you. I would like to do it now, but that's just me. You don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to. All right. So your job now, once you've weaved that end in, or you can do it after again, is to continue in this round. Now you know how to do the corner. We've done this before. Just remember, 16 double crochets across, 35 half double, 16 across, do your corner, 2, 2, 2. That's all you need to remember, yeah? 16, 35, 16, 2, 2, 2. 16, 35, 16, and once you've finished the whole round, Meet me back here and we'll talk about what we're going to do next. Alrighty guys, so here we are at the end of this round, looking simply divine, growing a little bit too big for my camera. Don't you love it? It's too big for the camera. Alright, so what you would have done and should have done was 16 double crochets across, 35 half double crochets, 16 doubles, and you would have ended up with your last double being right there. And then you've got these stitches filled up in there. That's your corner. So what you're going to do in the corner is simply that. Jump straight into the corner where all your set is right there. Yeah. Am I not close enough? Let's get a little bit more close. That's better. All right, so see where you are. If you give it a big tug, you'll kind of see some of the chains in there and the stitch in there. Just pop your hook in with all the set that you see, yeah? Pull a loop through like that, 3 loops on your hook, and you're doing your double crochet. Do your second one because this is a corner. Then you're chaining 2, 1 and 2, and you are slip stitching into the stitch with your stitch marker. Pull a loop through like so, pull it through to the loop on your hook, remove this little guy right there. Making sure you're still on the same side. All you're going to do is chain 1, 2 and 3. You're going to love this round. This is the round that I say is really easy. All right. Oh, by the way, you should have ended up with 71 stitches. Actually, it's not including the chain 2 in the middle. So yarn over your hook. You're going over your stitching like you usually do in this round. So over everything into the space, pull a loop through, just tighten a little bit. Pull through 2 and pull through 2 like a normal double crochet. Yarn over your hook. Now that stitch that you slip stitched into, you need to put a double crochet in that stitch. Yeah, don't miss that stitch or you will be one short at the end of the round. So double in there, double in your next, double in your next, double in your next. Are you getting the picture? Double all the way over the place, inside out, upside down, and the rest of it. Yeah, it's way too, she's being naughty now, guys. All right, way too easy this round. Double crochet all the way across. Get to this very next corner there, right there, and I'll meet you there in just a moment. So do your doubles all the way over to here, get there, and I'll meet you there, and we'll talk about what we're going to do next. Alrighty guys, here we are at the end of just the one side. All right. Now we only did one side so that I can show you what we're going to do next. All right, which you pretty much should already know, but anyway, it's into the corner with your 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, chain 1 and 2, and 2 double crochets. You really didn't need the stitch marker there to show you where to go, but I did it anyway. Right there. Just once again, moving your work over, popping your first double crochet there, like so, and double in the next, and double in your next. I'm pretty sure you're getting the picture with this round, yeah? All right, what you should have along from this first stitch right up to the very last stitch right there, you should have 75 stitches. All right, so 75 stitches all the way across that one side. And guess what you're going to do? Just that. Double crochets all the way across, get to the corner, 2, 2, 2, doubles all the way here, corner, 2, 2, 2, doubles all the way across, get to the very last stitch right there, and I'll meet you there once you're done, and we'll talk about what we're going to do next. Alrighty guys, so here we are at the end of the round. Make sure you have 75 stitches per side before we continue. Now, have I put my 2 in the corner? And yes, I have. So I have completed all of my stitches across this way. I've put 2 in the corner. Now I need to chain 2, 1 and 2, and slip stitch to join like normal. pull that through and move your stitch marker for a minute. And what are you doing? You're chaining 1, 2 and 3. Well, let's get a little bit more of a close-up. There you go. All right. And once again, you're popping your double crochet into that space. So you're going back into the space and do your double crochet like normal. And I forgot to put my stitch marker in the top chain there. So now I'm going to struggle. There, if this happens to you guys, that's the stitch that you just completed. And this right here is the top chain from your chain 3. All right. Might have actually split a stitch there, but anyway, we'll see how we go at the end of the round. All right. This round here, guys, you've done this before. It's back loops only. Just remember that very first stitch there. Turn it to the side. It already has your slip stitch in it, but you are still going to do the back loop. So it's double crochet in the back loop. And again, you've done this before. And again, the very next one, which I noticed the first few stitches are a little bit tight, but then the rest flow easy. All right, so there you go, super duper easy. You are putting a double crochet in the back loop only all the way across your round. I don't think I need to show you this, but get to the corner though. I will get you to get to that corner right there. So back loops only, get all the way to that corner, and then we'll talk about what we're going to do next. Alrighty guys, so here we are at the end of this side here. So far you should have 77 stitches across. It's 79 altogether, but I haven't completed my corner yet. So I've got 77, 78 and 79. All right, so that's all of your back loops only, 2 in the beginning, 2 at the end, and you should have 79. Chain 1 and 2, do your next 2 double crochets in this corner. I think you know what you're doing. We've done this how many rows before? Many times before. So like I said at the very beginning of our pattern, in the very part 1 of the series, this pattern doesn't change. It's pretty much the same. All we're doing is playing with colour. So that's the exciting part. Moving everything over, making sure you're getting your first stitch. You're going into the back loop only there. A little bit tight that first stitch, but you still need to get in it to be the right amount of stitches across. Back loop of your next stitch and back loop of your very next stitch, and so on and so forth all the way across your square, which is really big right now. I might take that undone because I think I turned the loop the other way around, but there you go. You didn't see that, did you? All right, so pretty much that's your job. You need to back loop only all the way, 2, 2, 2 in the corner, back loop only all the way, 2, 2, 2 in the corner, back loop only until you get to your very second last stitch there. And we'll talk about what we're going to do next. Don't forget, 79 stitches per side. All right, 79. Make sure your count is correct at the end of this round, and then get ready for our very next round. All right, back loop only, 2, 2, 2, and off you go. Alrighty guys, check it out. Don't forget you should have 79 stitches per side, except I only have 77 here because I am actually going to put the last 2 stitches in the corner, which makes it 78 and 79. And then I have my chains, 1, 2, and slip stitch to join. But guess what? Color change. We're going back to the white. We're going back to that very first round that we did here at the beginning of this part of our tutorial. So taking out your stitch marker, hold it there, grabbing your, I said white, but it's actually cream, grabbing your cream and pull it through the stitch there and through to the stitch on your hook. Now, pull your white down. You need to have a little bit of a tail. That's only for weaving in. If you don't want to, that's fine. Okay, so what you're going to do, like we said before, let's just tighten it all up for a minute. Tighten everything up. Remember before we brought the purple over? Don't worry, this will close up in a minute. In a minute. I think I've given too much of a tail. That's it. Not too much. Remember to grab your cream tail at the back. You're holding onto your purple in front, grabbing the working yarn of your cream and chain 1. Pass the purple back, chain 2. Pass the purple forward, chain 3. Pass the purple back. Remember this one to be a little bit loose, chain 4. This way you can get into that stitch at the end of your round. Okay. Now, once again, that's our chain 4, which will be our treble in this round. So we're going to do our cluster sets now. So that's yarn over your hook into the space, chain space. Remember, we're going over the tail for the first cluster. Pull the loop through, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over again, into the space, pull a loop through, 4 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, 3 loops left, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, chain 1, pop your tail right at the back, and once again you're doing your clusters across. Yarn over your hook, you're skipping your chain 3 in this round, you're going right into the very next stitch with a cluster set of that right there. That was a bit tricky for me, it was a little bit tight. Chain 1. Remember, chaining 1 after every cluster set, skipping 1, going into the very next stitch. You know this part, super easy, do your set. We did this, the very first round we did was this one in this tutorial. All right, so I'm going to leave it there, chain 1, and what I want you to do is, let's bring that down a little bit, is get to that very first, go across, skip 1, make your cluster in the next, chain 1, skip, cluster, chain 1, skip, cluster, all the way across, get to the very first corner, and once you are there, I will meet you there in just a moment. All right, so go ahead and do that all the way across this way, and I'll meet you there once you're done. Alrighty guys, here we are at the end of this side. Now currently I have 40 cluster sets across. When I put my last cluster set in this corner, it will be 41. So yarn over the hook into the corner with the very last cluster set. Now remember, once you are in your corner, you don't chain. All you do is do your next stitch, which from memory was the treble. And the treble we are doing yarn over our hook twice. Once and twice, pop your hook in the space, pull a loop through, 4 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through the next 2 loops, 2 loops left, yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops. And that is where you pop your stitch marker to remind you that that is your corner stitch that you need to go into at the end of this round, or into the next round I should say. So once again, no chaining here, you're just doing a cluster set in the corner to complete your corner. So a normal set like this. But to get out of the corner, you chain your 1. Yeah, I hope you remember that part of it. All right, move it over. Remember, you're not counting your first stitch here. It's actually counted as a stitch. So you miss the first one and you go into your second one with your cluster set. I think you know what you're doing with this round, guys. We did it in the very first round we did in this tutorial. So I say you head off on your own and you continue doing this round, and I'll meet you up once you're done. And remember what you need to do. All right, simple. I'm pulling at my yarn. My thread is pulling there. It's stuck on something under the table, as it does usually. All right, remember, cluster set, chain 1, skip, cluster set, chain 1, skip, and so on. Get to the corner, cluster set, treble, cluster set, chain 1, and continue along your way. Get to this side of your work, get right to the very second last stitch here, and I'll meet you there once you're done, and we'll talk about what we're going to do next. Alrighty guys, how is it going? It's looking very big now, isn't it? Don't you love it? Alright, don't forget guys, you should have 41 cluster sets on each side, except this one here. If you haven't completed your side, you would have 40 like me if you have not done your last cluster set in there. So now let's complete the last cluster set right there in the space like so. And then you're going to slip stitch with the cream, but we're going to bring that purple yarn up. Next round is going to be slightly different, but for now, this round here will be the same. Take out your stitch marker like so. You're going to slip stitch with the cream. Pull the cream through and pull it through to the loop on your hook. All right, so once again, we are going to flip our work. I don't know if you can see that yet. Let's bring it down a bit. There you go. You're going to flip your work because we're going to do our single crochet round, right? But again, it's the same for this round. Next round is going to be different. We're changing the pattern for the next round. But for this round here, it will be the same. So what you're going to do is chain 1, and you're going to leave that purple there. All right, yarn over your hook in the same stitch that you are in. You are going to pop a half double crochet, US half treble UK. There's your 3 loops. Yarn over your hook, pull a loop through like so, and that is your half double US half treble UK. In the same stitch, what are you doing? Single crochet. And you know this round, single in your cluster set, single in your space, single in your cluster set, single in your space. You know it all the way across until you get to your corner. And let me show you the corner where we are. All right, so let's bring this down a little bit. All right, so single in the set, single in the space, single set, space, set, space, set, space, set, space. Get to your very first corner, all right? And we'll talk about what we're going to do next, all right? I just wanted to show you this round one last time, and next round is going to be different. So don't head off on your own and do the next round because that's going to be different, all right? So in the meantime, single all the way over to the first corner. Meet me there, and we'll talk about what we're going to do next. All right, we have one side complete, and you should have 82 stitches across, only because we haven't put a single crochet in our corner stitch. So far it's 82. When you do your first single crochet in that corner stitch, it will be 83. Then you can do your half double or half treble UK in the same stitch. Remove your stitch marker, which is really tiny. I don't know what I did with my other yellow one, but there you go. Pop it in your half right there. Pop another single in the same space. It's always, in this round, it's always single, half, single. Then you jump straight into the next stitch right there with a single, into the space with a single, stitch with a single, and space with a single, and so on. So there you go, guys. What you need to do now, which is very, very simple. I'm going to let you do it on your own. Can we bring it out a bit more? A little bit more. We can do this. Come on, Mary, you can do this. No, that's it. Single all the way across. Get to your corner. Single, half, single, single all the way across, get to your corner, single, half single, single all the way across, get to the very last stitch here. Don't do the next round without me because the next round is going to change. So get to this last stitch right here, wait for me there, and we will talk about what we're going to do next. Alrighty guys, here we are at the end of this side. Get excited. Get excited. Listen to me, I'm getting all anxious now. I have 80 stitches across. Let's try 81 stitches across, sorry. I need to put my 82nd stitch in the cluster set. And my 83rd stitch goes in here with all this stuff here. We're literally going to do our single crochet in that stitch right there. Right there. Right there. Start your single, hold it there, pass your white forward and leaving it in front, grabbing your purple. Oops, it's a bit awkward now, there's tails everywhere. I still haven't sewn in my tails. Come on, Mary, you can do this. Here we go. So grab your purple, finish off your single crochet and slip stitch into the stitch with your stitch marker like so. Now remove your stitch marker for a minute. We're going to cut that cream, but not right now because this is a closing round. So get excited. Chain 1. We're still turning our work like we would normally so that we are now working on the right side of our work. Okay. So what we're going to do exactly is the round that we just did, we're going to repeat, but on the right side of our work now. So before we do, just grab all of the tails here of your white at the back. Just grab it and hold it down at the back so you don't pull it through. So yarn over your hook, pop your hook into the stitch that you're in, pull your loop through, and you're going to do your half double crochet like you did in the previous round, just like so. There you go. All right, grab your stitch marker, pop it in. All right, and back into the same stitch with your single crochet, like so. All right, but being very careful, you have a single crochet right there. See that stitch right there? You need to get in that stitch. If you don't get in that stitch, you'll be one stitch short at the end of the round, okay? So single 1, or even the end of the side, not so much the round. Single 1, single 2, and 3, and so on, all the way across your piece. Now, I'm not going to let you watch me do this because you pretty much know what you're doing here, and I'm all tangled up. Single crochet until you get all the way across to the very first stitch marker. Wait for me there and we'll talk about what we're going to do next. But before we do, just flip your work and cut this cream. You no longer need the cream there. Give yourself a long tail just for weaving an end. You know, you need that. All right, so continue with your purple all the way along until you get to that first corner, and I'll meet you there once you're done. Alrighty guys, you should have, oh actually I don't know, because I don't know what stitch I haven't completed, but altogether along that side, this is all of the single crochets, it's not including the half doubles, you should have 85. Alright, what have I got? 83, yeah? So there's my 84th stitch. Too far away, there we go. And my 85th stitch will go in a stitch with a stitch marker there. Pop in your half double. So yarn over your hook into the same space with a half double. Remove your stitch marker and replace it into that half double right there. In the same space, you are doing a single crochet. And then it's single all the way across. All right, this is a super easy round. Super duper easy, yeah? All right, so, oops, she says that she just pulled it real tight. All right, so I don't think I need to show you anymore. I do believe you know what you're doing. What you need to do here is single all the way across. In the corner, it's single, half, single, single all the way across this corner, single, half, single, single all the way across. Get to your second last stitch right here and wait for me there. Guys, each side should be 85 single crochets, yeah, and a half double in each corner. All right, so that's it, guys. Go ahead and do this round. Get excited. I will meet you back here at the end of the round and we are going to talk about what's going to happen next. Alrighty guys, here I am at the end of this round. Now this tutorial is going very long, so bear with me guys. We're going to finish off this round. Now this side here, I have 82, I think, 83. I'm sorry, I have 83 and 84 and 80. My 85th one will be in the stitch with the stitch marker. So pop your last single crochet in that stitch with your stitch marker in it. You are going to slip stitch to join like so. Take out your stitch marker. Just chain one for now, or pull up a loop, I like to say. Don't cut anything. Pop your stitch marker in that little loop and get ready for some instructions. All right, so I'm having to fold my work up now because the square is getting too big. But there you go. Can I bring it out a little bit more? I probably can. There you go. All right, so that's about the best. I think I can bring it out a bit more. Let's try again. All right, so I had to turn off the camera to try that. All right, so we're going to leave it at this for now. The next step is a fairly important one anyway. So we're going to leave this part like this. However, your job is not finished yet. You have homework, guys. Again, you have homework again. You have to repeat what we did today to your next colour. And again, your next colour. And again, your next colour. And as you can see, I'm nowhere near completing our colours. So I couldn't go any further than this part anyway. The next part, pretty important step, it needs a slow process. And we've already run out of time. This tutorial's gone for way too long. So we're going to do the next step in part 4 of our blanket, if you will, our mystery blanket. But there you go. This was part 3 of the mystery blanket, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget that very final round was a different round, okay? So be wary on that. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share. Do all the wonderful things that you guys always do for me. And join us on our lives at 4 p.m. Wednesday afternoons and 10 a.m. Saturday mornings. We have a lot of fun. We do, we get a bit silly sometimes, but that's okay. Join us on those lives and have some fun with us. But in the meantime, guys, you have a lot of homework. I feel like I'm in a classroom here. You have a lot of homework to do. You have 3 more squares to complete from there to there. Meet me back here, same time next week, and we will finish off the next step. I'm not going to tell you what that is, all right? So meet me back here next week. My name is Mary and this is Wow Crochet Designs, and I will see everyone soon. Ciao for now.